Father up above.
If you don't get this shit right, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
Go to hell where you belong, you son of a bitch.
Let's go! Whoa! I can't wash the dishes right now.
Do you want some money? Luckily, I got a game for you that's way too messy.
You look oily as fuck, bitch, take a shower.
But don't get too chummy, cause you ain't the only contendee who loves money. The winner of I Love Money will walk away with some illustrious prizes, such as a coveted spot in the DH1 Hall of Fame, and a cash prize of up to $100,000. Results may vary. So what are we waiting for? Let's bounce some checks.
Yes, hello everybody, and welcome to the DH1 Network's Season 12 I Love Money. I am your stand-in host, Isaiah. Tonight, Erin, unfortunately, cannot be able to make it. She might pop in a little bit later, but you know what? It's completely fine because I have an amazing guest tonight. Lucy, the next juror number 6. Lucy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm okay. I was excited to see Erin. We're friends, IRL, but that's okay, Isaiah. I will settle for you.
Hopefully I don't disappoint, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, you were voted out last night, and we're just gonna kind of talk about your game really from your aspect, because I'm like, Erin, I am on production, so I can't really give no tea, but I can ask some questions that the viewers will ask. So Lucy, let's break it down. Let's really chop it up. Why are you here? What's going on?
Never join an alliance with more than like 3 or 4 people. Gotta cap it off. Keep them small.
Obviously, so we saw you eliminate last night. Who do you really blame for your elimination? Like walk me through your mindset. What really happened last night?
Oh, I don't blame anyone. So when the game started, as everyone knows now, Jess R is my best friend, IRL best friend. So she was telling me everything. As soon as the game started, I knew, she was invited to House of Laganja before I was. She was telling me, all these people that were asking her for final 2s, final 3s. And she was just coming to me and telling me everything, which was great. I was getting all this information, but I was left with this feeling of like, nobody likes me. Like everyone likes Jess. No one likes me. So I was trying to find somewhere to go. And when that alliance was created, let's just clear all that up. So I could not decide if I wanted to go with like Cody and Cheyenne's side or with Brandon's side. And because of my relationship with Johnny and my relationship with Brandon, I was really pulled in 2 different directions. And I had a little distrust for Brandon because I saw how quick he flipped on Jess R. It was like she was the only one that he trusted. She was his final 2. He loved her so much. And within 24 hours, it was, she's got to go. She's got to go. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit that I saw he could do that. Johnny was always a very consistent, reliable person. He was very even, So I said, I get these ideas, and I just had this idea one night. Kyra was in alliance with Brandon and Jake. And once Jake and Colin were gone, I was like, okay, Kyra's all alone. Maybe we could work with her. I knew Jess and Giraffes were all alone. So I had this idea. I told Brandon, maybe we should all work together. He was like, yes, I love it. And he got so excited. But I realized like, the next day that was a bad idea. But Brandon was like, oh, are you going to make the alliance? Are you going to make the alliance? And I remember being like, no, I'm scared to make alliances. I don't want to make it. And he was like, come on, it was your idea, and this is me and Debbie trying to figure out which way do we go. But by the time I was like, okay, fine, Brandon, I'll make it. As soon as we got in there, they were targeting Johnny, Julius, Cheyenne, like all my friends. And me and Debbie are messaging each other like, this was a bad idea. This isn't going to work. But we're already in it. And then Brandon gets voted out. So yes, I made the alliance chat. It was one of my late night ideas. I always have ideas. They usually don't pan out. But then Brandon got voted out, and it was just all these random people in there. So then Giraffes and Jess didn't really have any other angle. So I know why they were working that alliance and throwing out ideas and stuff. But then me and Debbie were just in there. And yeah, I just had too many ideas. Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot to break down with there. So I guess we could talk about like the moments leading up to it. Obviously, the round before, right? We see Jarvis is actually eliminated, and a lot of people kind of at least seem shocked by that. A lot of people started to kind of look at you with some other people, I guess, as like possible alliance or allies. I think you actually said this during the vault ceremony yesterday, about how like, oh, it's pretty obvious of who I'm working with at this point. So do you think the move the round before definitely kind of also pushed people into that moment of like, we need to get Lucy the hell out of here immediately? Like how'd you feel about all that?
Oh, my game was already crumbling. So me and were just enamored with Johnny from the moment that we met him. He's a beautiful specimen of a man. And we had our alliance, Johnny and his wives, and me and Jess were Johnny's wives. And we basically just simped all day and would get on calls and just giggle and like little schoolgirls. Johnny's such a good sport. There was like a point in time when me and Jess were like, I hope we're not making him uncomfortable. But yeah, no, it was, I mean, I knew that what Jarvis was doing was not a good idea. He was positioned so well, and I guess he was just trying to be the hero, trying to keep it all kumbaya. They didn't want to show. I mean, Julius even said Kyra was the most expendable one there when I asked, but then proceeded to put Jarvis in the box. And Kyra's trying to advance, right? Because Cheyenne said to me right before I left, she's like, Kyra's not with us. She's trying to get with us. So Kyra was able to throw me under the bus and advance. And it was actually good for Kyra that Jarvis left, because she has now moved up again. I don't know why everyone's giving Debbie all this shit about this alliance. People treated Debbie like shit the whole time. I just want to say, like, it was really hard to know where I fit in. I mean, Jess R was telling me that she would sit on the phone with Cody and Cheyenne and they would talk shit about me. And she would do it with them to like fit in, So I'm hearing all this stuff. So yes, I struggled to know where I fit in. I was looking for a way to go, and I just zigged and zagged a little too much. I don't know.
No, I mean that's completely fine. There's no real correct way to play this game, but I did want to ask about, I guess, some of the little clashes you had. I think we definitely saw a little clash with Cheyenne on the live yesterday. Also, obviously, you and Shelby have had your things during the lives at times. You want to talk about any of those a little bit?
Well, I know that I upset Kyra. I don't believe that I really did. She knows I didn't say anything about her family. I think she spun that to try to make me look bad, right? Because I was positioned really well with Cheyenne and Jarvis. They trusted me. Julius trusted me. So, like, I never went to a vault ceremony nervous until last night. I'm an internal family systems therapist. So I examine human behavior through family systems and family narratives. So that's all that I said to Kyra. I was trying to figure out why she was just so against any confrontation for the shit that she stirred up. I felt like she wouldn't face me. She stirred all this shit up for me and she wouldn't face me. And I said something about like, this is probably how you had to survive your childhood. Literally how we behave in life, every single person, is an accumulation of how we had to survive our own childhoods and our own family systems. It wasn't a dig at her family. I think she knows that. She just was driving the wedge between me and Cheyenne and Jarvis so that she could move up. And I think Cheyenne is in control of a lot of this. You know what I mean? Cheyenne's the head bitch here. That was love. But yeah, she was just, but of course I shouldn't have like yelled at her. But when she said I said something about her family, I'm just like, stop being dramatic. She has all this shit to say about me in front of everyone. But when I'm messaging her, she's like, I don't want to talk about the drama. And I'm like, but I'm hurt. Like, at least like I get no resolution because you won't face me. I don't get to say what I need to say because you won't face me. So it was just like a lot of pent up anger from not getting anything from Kyra. I was hurt. I was so comfortable in that game and she really messed it up, and it's fine. But I was, dysregulated from that. I just wanted to talk about it, and she just continued to set boundaries. So I was holding it all in.
Got it. Do you think that there's any way of a possible backlash now that like you're gone and the people that you potentially were working with are still in the game? Do you think that they're going to get targeted now, or do you think that they can be just fine?
I think that they need Johnny to take out Shelby because he's the only one that can really match her in challenges. So I think if they're smart, they'll keep him around. I think that if Julius goes to the end with Cheyenne and Kyra, he's going to lose. I think Julius needs to. The jury hates me and Debbie and Johnny. I have been in the jury chat for 24 hours. I can confirm that they hate me. So, yeah, I mean, I think Julius is playing for like second or third right now if he doesn't flip over. Kyra's probably playing for second too. I mean, Cheyenne will probably beat anybody. So I don't know. It just depends. It depends what these people value more, right? Does Julius want to win or does he value his friendships more? So as long as his decision aligns with his values, then that's all that matters. Johnny values loyalty. Like when all this shit was coming down on me and everybody, Jarvis was sure that Johnny was going to send me home because of that alliance. Johnny always trusted me. He was like, you have to know that your allies are going and politicking and playing their own games. And you have to have enough trust to let them do that. That's what was hard about working with Cody and even Cheyenne and Jarvis was this, like, I was constantly getting chastised for like playing my own game. Like I had to report everything to them. I should have told them everything. That's what they always said. You should have told us. You should have told us. No, I'm not going to tell you everything. And if the trust isn't there, then I don't know what to tell you because I'm not going to just report back everything because I'm playing for me, just like you're playing for you.
So a previous comment that you actually made, the last question. So you said that you think Cheyenne is the head bitch, head person, like you said that she's running the house. Why didn't we ever see you guys kind of like try to potentially put her in the box or anything if you felt that way?
I love Cheyenne. I don't mean when I say she's in charge, I don't mean it in like some strategic, malicious way. She's an incredibly powerful woman. She has just so much heart and soul. She's inspiring people. She's a leader. It's just a natural thing. And the alliance with like Giraffes and Kyra and all them, we did talk about targeting Cheyenne. I mean, when Jess R was went home, if she was paymaster, there was talk about maybe getting Cheyenne if Jess R had won instead of lost. Like we've always seen, but she's just such an incredible human being. And it was kind of like, you have to get with Cheyenne. That's been the theme of this game. You either get with Cheyenne or you go home. So I was with Cheyenne. I really was. Did I have moments of like, God, this girl is going to win and we should probably get her out? Yes. But above that was a connection that I had to her, a respect that I had for her. And that probably overrode everything else.
Okay. And then the last person still in the game that I haven't heard you really speak on. I mean, she technically wasn't in the game, but she just came back in the game. Is Shelby? How do you feel about Shelby being back in the game now?
I mean, Shelby could win this game. She's really good at challenges. She has a great story. Social game was probably her weakness. I mean, you can't just like tell everyone you hate them and then expect to not be targeted. But the fact that she could stay in so long, even with this sort of anarchy, was impressive. I don't know. I mean, I have no ill will towards any of them. I always take my job as a juror seriously. I'm going to go in as open-minded as I can. And yeah, I mean, I would vote for any of them. Even Kyra, I know we yelled and stuff. I have no ego about this at all. And I'm here to vote for who I think deserves to win based on the case that they present.
Okay, so just a little bit more of the in-game stuff before we get to like the jury related stuff. Oh God, I had such a good question. Give me 1 second. If I remember, I'll come back to it. But okay, so basically, we're starting to see in the game, the first half of the game, there's a lot of moments where like people aren't voting, letting the paymaster choose. The later half of this game, we're starting to see people finally actually like make a decision. How do you feel about that? We saw Jarvis, obviously, he went home, but he nominated himself. And then we also saw Cheyenne last round. She also nominated herself. So people are now like volunteering to go into the bottom. Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that Cheyenne's side has really operated on this idea of loyalty and we're all equal. It's sort of this narrative that they have. We're all equal. We're so loyal. I don't care if you're a threat. I'll go to the end with you anyways. I value loyalty above all. So when they're being asked to vote for who's the most expendable, it kind of is asking them to break that facade. And I don't think they're ready to do it yet, which is why they're volunteering to go down. It fits with their narrative of like, I'm so loyal, I will fall on my sword for you. I don't think Jarvis would have really gone down if he thought he was in danger. I think he clearly felt safe, but it is this facade that they will break. They will have to break soon. And we pretty much know who's on top, right? It's Cheyenne, then probably Julius, and then Kyra, and maybe Shelby's still trying to work with them. She will always be a threat and a target to them, I think. I mean, she never was able to fully integrate herself into that alliance because when Jarvis won Paymaster and it was, and Julius voted with Johnny, that whole part, and we had Shelby, Kyra, and I forget, maybe Cheyenne or something on the block, and Jarvis eliminated Shelby. So she was never able to rise in status on that side enough. She was still expendable. And Kyra is rising, and it helped her that Jarvis left. But I was throwing my votes because I was literally cool with everyone. And I didn't, like, there was things that I would never do. I would have never voted for Johnny. I would have never voted for Debbie. I was very uncomfortable with the way Debbie was treated during a lot of this game. I don't understand this sort of like backlash that she's gotten about this alliance because people treated her like shit. I mean, there was stuff that I felt was like, that made me so uncomfortable when this game started with the way Debbie was treated. I was so uncomfortable. So I don't think you can treat someone like that and then get mad at them when they're looking for another alliance. But yeah, I was just cool with everyone, and I would have never voted for Johnny, never voted for Debbie. Cheyenne was up there too, but yeah.
Okay. So there is something in the house chat, so I do want to read it. This is a message from you. And I guess I wanted to ask, like, so what were you guys referencing? So it seems Debbie said that alliance was fake. I don't know what's going on, but that's my truth, and it will come out. The truth will come out at the end. And then you kind of have a paragraph, but like the main sentence says, let me just say something about that fake ass group chat. Me and Debbie were close to Brandon, but he was after Johnny and Cheyenne, and you know the message.
Yeah.
So what was all that referencing to? Because that's public knowledge. Just wanted some background with it.
I know that some of the jury is hurt that they got blamed for this alliance. I mean, yes, I made the group chat. Yes, I pitched it to Brandon. Like I said, I need to stop thinking of things in the middle of the night because the next day I realized it's a bad idea. But Brandon expected me to follow through. I know we blamed some of it on Giraffes. I know Giraffes is really hurt. Like, I don't think they remember how cutthroat it is when you're in there. And there's people like Cheyenne and Julius who you respect so much, and they're so mad at you, and you just like want to placate them and appease them, and you're terrified, and you forget that you're not actually dying because your nervous system is telling you that you're actually about to die when you get voted out. Like, you forget that it's a game, and there's just so much pressure. So I know people were hurt about that. It was a kill or be killed in there, and me and Debbie were like chastised, attacked. I mean, it was like a really uncomfortable. That's when I stopped having fun. I mean, orgs are always fun when you're winning, right? once things start going bad, like I wasn't having fun anymore. Yeah, and I don't know if Kyra is telling them she was like so loyal this whole time because she was literally in an alliance with Brandon and Jake, and she's doing this, like they're doing this. Oh, why didn't you tell us about the alliance, Lucy, if you trusted us? I don't think Kyra's telling them everything about her game either. And she's playing like she's very, very innocent. So.
Do you feel some type of way against Kyra, or?
No, honestly, like, we're very different. She's very young. I'm an OG bitch. Okay. Bitch. We're just different. We're worlds apart in a lot of ways. But no, I do not. I would happily vote for her at the end if she presented her case and I felt like she played the best game. I'm here to be objective. It's like, once you're on the jury, it's not about you anymore. That's why I don't understand why everyone in the jury is like still arguing and stuff. Like, we lost. It's not about me anymore. I'm here to vote for a winner.
Okay. I've heard you bring up Debbie a lot. We haven't really spoken about her. How's your connection with Debbie? How do you feel about her?
I care about Debbie a lot. I think she's the kind of person that is misunderstood a lot. And I think that's probably been happening to her whole life. And I admire that she will continue to be herself no matter how many times she's misunderstood. And the thing is with Debbie, if you stick with her long enough, you will eventually start to understand her. People like Cody, people like Cheyenne, people like Julius were attacking her at first. She is definitely a unique character. And they were saying she was shady, she was this, she was that. But once you hang in there long enough with her, you realize she is none of that.
Okay. So let's play a little superlative game. Just talking about the final 6, and then we can talk about your jury experience a little bit. So I'm going to name every single person left in the game, and you can give me like a word or a sentence or whatever you want that you think like compliments, or I mean, it don't have to necessarily be a compliment, but like that describes them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna call people annoying.
All right, so you can start with so Debbie.
Wise, unique, eccentric, intense.
All right, Johnny.
Husband.
Julius.
Little brother, a little confused, but really strong social player.
Kyra.
Youthful, positive, individuality, exuberance.
Shelby.
Cutthroat. I think Shelby's brilliant. I think she's quite a brilliant person outside of the game. I think Shelby's a badass.
All right, and Cheyenne.
Goddess.
All right.
Amazing.
Amazing what?
Tits.
Okay. All right. So I listen, okay. But anyway, all right, so I guess we could talk about jury a little bit. We can start off with your jury experience before you even got voted out to the jury. So we saw the jury come in, obviously, and they got to vote someone to be a paymaster.
Yeah.
A lot of people addressed you and Debbie a lot, and specifically there was an interaction with Giraffes. Giraffes was not happy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you guys spoken, or is that like still going? Like, give me some explanation. What's going on? Is there beef with Giraffes going on right now?
Giraffes is clearly very upset with me. And the things that Giraffes saying that were said about them, or that I said, I am not doubting that those things were said. They were said in a state of such panic and like fight or flight that I don't even know what was coming out of my mouth. But that doesn't mean that it's okay or that it didn't hurt Giraffes. So, but Giraffes is like so angry right now that I can't do it. I'm really sick. I just don't have the energy to be like yelled at. I mean, Giraffes has some pipes. I mean, Giraffes can yell. So, but Giraffes is entitled to their feelings. I'm not going to take any of that away. I don't take any of this stuff personally. You have to understand that we are playing with our shadow selves. This isn't us. And you have to understand that everything is within the context of the game, But I've had maybe I've played more games than Giraffes. Maybe I've had more practice with that. I don't know. I don't take anything personally. I don't care what they say about me. I'm not going to show up to the finale and scream at them. I understand that we're all just doing the best that we can. But yeah, maybe me and Giraffes can work it out. I understand that Giraffes is hurt, but yeah.
All right. Next is Cody. You and Cody also had your fair share of squabbles this season. Cody seemed very anti-Lucy during that as well. I mean, how you feel about all that?
I like Cody. Cody is hard to play with because there was this element that felt controlling, that I had to report every single thing that I did, every single thing that happened. And I just wasn't comfortable enough. I didn't feel at home enough with them because I knew everything that was going on, But I think Cody is an amazing person, an amazing father. He's been through a lot. And I mean, I like Cody.
All right. And lastly, I mean, obviously Jess and Jarvis are there, but Jarvis, he was going through his own thing, and eventually we're going to interview Jarvis. And Jess, there wasn't a lot there.
I love Jess. No, Jess is like one of the people that I missed the most after she got voted out. We had to vote her out because when Giraffes did their exit interview, like they told everything and it put us in a really bad spot. And so we had to take a stand against Jess and be like, no, that wasn't true. But I feel like if Giraffes had, not just like said everything about Jess's game, that she might still be there. Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. But there was also Brandon, Brandon addressed something. He basically said that everyone keeps saying that I started these groups and all this stuff, and I don't believe that. That's not true. Is there truth to that? Is there a little bit of extra salt being put on Brandon since he was out the game? Like, is it true that he really made these groups in your opinion?
No,
or
I made the group chat, like I physically made it. I brought the idea to him, then woke up in the morning and me and Debbie were both like, no, that's a bad idea. Like it was like a middle of the night spitballing. And then Brandon was super excited about it because it was all the people he was close to. Me and Debbie had relationships like across the aisle or however you want to call it. So me and Debbie realized it wasn't going to work. But yes, I physically made it. Sorry that you were the scapegoat, Brandon. It was really hard to have so many people trusting me. It was just I was looking for a home. After Jess R was the only person I trusted 100%. After that, I was only loyal to myself. I didn't trust anyone and I was hurt and I was sad. That's my best friend. But I did eventually find in Debbie and Johnny the same thing that I had with Jess. And Brandon is going to win one of these games. He has really good instincts. It wasn't his time this time, but if he plays again, I do think he has a win coming. He's very smart.
All right. So now I'm curious because I haven't seen this portion. You get added to the jury chat. What's going on? I saw you guys had a call or whatever. What's going on there?
Oh, I mean, Giraffes was just yelling at me, so I left. But I don't know. Maybe we'll work it out. Like I'm definitely open to it. Like I have enough things killing me right now physically. Like I don't hold on to anger. But Giraffes can hold on to it as long as they need to, and that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. They were on a call. I was just confused about why they wanted to be on a call for like an hour, like arguing. I don't know. Like once I'm out of the game, like all the emotions and everything leaves me. But everybody handles it differently. And but I haven't been very active in the jury chat. I do think I'll be friends with most of these people, but when you get voted out, there's this grieving that happens, right? We go through the stages of grief. And one of those stages is blame, and I think you saw that even before I got voted out. My game was blown up and I was grieving the death of my game. So I was blaming Brandon. I was blaming Giraffes. You know what I mean? Like I'm going through denial and depression and blame too. We're all like in the stages of grief, mourning the loss of our games. And so there's a lot of emotions going on. But once we get through it, I think it'll be easier to address and be friends.
All right. So we do have a couple questions in the chat. So I guess we can ask a few of these real quick. And if there's anyone watching live, I know it's a little late, but if there's anyone watching live that wants to know anything that hasn't asked anything yet, you can feel free to ask. But all right, so we got from Cheryl Lucy, you were working with Johnny and Debbie. I mean, were you working with Johnny and Debbie? It does explain your longevity in the game. So were you working with Johnny and Debbie?
I mean, yeah, of course. I trusted Johnny and Debbie, but I don't think that necessarily explains my longevity in the game. I had good relationships with everybody. I mean, maybe the last round I was able to survive because of that. But I had good relationships with everybody. And, and like I said, I was working with Cheyenne and Jarvis too, until I wasn't anymore, right? But Johnny is a really just a 1 in a million person, just reliable, not insecure, not needy, just a stable, reliable human being. I don't know how he could be so beautiful and so amazing, like on the inside too, but he really is just an incredible human being.
All right. So Joseph Bill's in the chat wants to know, were you expecting Johnny to void? Oh, was she expecting Johnny to void her check? Last night was Debbie's sixth time in the box.
No, I don't think that Johnny would void Debbie's check, especially when you're looking at how the sides, how everything's playing out. Jarvis was a way more important piece. Debbie is not a threat. She literally comes in last in every single challenge. Why would you want that to leave? It's literally guaranteed you're not going to be dead last loser. I see no value in voting out Debbie personally.
All right. Joseph also wants to ask, didn't Debbie say that the alliance was fake?
No, not me and Debbie's connection. There was an alliance that when it was created, it was not intended to be fake, but it didn't end up working. And it ended up being more of a place where me and Debbie could get intel. And we knew who was after Johnny. You know, we were watching Johnny's back. We knew who was after Cheyenne. Like, we were able to know what was going on all sides of the house because of it. So no, it was not like fake, but it just didn't really materialize into people that trusted each other and were working with each other. And Jeffs and Giraffes were pushing it because that was really the only angle that they had. But I had other people and other places to go. So it just never really functioned as an alliance. And then it was just a bunch of people in a group chat that we forgot about until Kyra added Cheyenne to it. So, I mean, I had already left it at that point.
How did you, sidebar, how did you feel about that?
You know, that's a line that I've never heard of being crossed before. Group chats, one-on-one chats, they're very intimate. They're very personal. That's like, it felt like a severe invasion of privacy. It felt like it was a line that I wouldn't cross, but it wasn't against the rules. And I also don't think Kyra did that on her own. I'm pretty sure that was Cheyenne, you know, like that wanted to be added and was pushing all of that.
All right. Cheryl has another question. How do you feel about Debbie being a floater?
She's not a floater. She's a survivor and a soldier. And I'm really proud of her.
Okay. Joseph wants to know, were you expecting Kyra to void your check? Oh wait, did we already say that one?
No, phrased a little different.
Okay, so were you expecting Kyra to void your check?
Oh yeah, of course. And I was ready to go. I'm really sick. I'm probably too sick, physically ill to be playing orgs right now. I really enjoyed the friendships and the company and the distraction from all of my ailments and stuff, but I was ready to go. And Debbie seemed like she wanted to be there. Like, she was fighting and I really wasn't. So if she, like, yeah, I was ready to go.
Okay. Lucy, can you talk about the blow up with Kyra last night?
Okay. Well, I talked about it already, but I'm an internal family systems therapist. So when I look at people's behaviors, I'm just trained and conditioned to always look at it through how they were conditioned through their own family system. So I was trying to understand Kyra's behavior through the lens of her own family, because I was trying to understand her behavior. And that's how I understand human behavior. And she took it as an offense that I was insulting her family. I don't think she really believed that. I think that was the narrative she was pushing to continue to drive the wedge between me and Cheyenne, because I was with Cheyenne and Kyra wasn't. And she was able to push me out and sort of move in. So it was all within the context of the game. It was all strategy. None of it was personal. I do not believe that Kyra thinks I was really insulting her family.
Okay. All right, Lucy, how many alliances were you in? How much stock did you put into each? Which was your fave?
Well, I was trying to stay out of alliances. I did a really good job at that. I think I just got bored at the end and a little bit too comfortable. Like, I remember when Brandon was in the alliance with Kyra and Jake, Brandon was like, "Do you want me to get you invited to it?" And I was like, no, I don't want to be in alliances. Like, I'm trying to stay out. I did a really good job for a while, but I was in House of Laganja, which I was never fully comfortable in because I knew they talked about me. I knew they didn't fully like me or trust me. That was just like pushing them to like me because they liked her. So I never fully felt comfortable with them. And then there was what was it called? The Sexy Six or something with Brandon, which, like I said, never materialized. It never turned into a voting block. It was an idea that never turned into something. And then I forgot about it. And then Kyra used it after we'd all forgotten about it and stopped talking in it or being active. And then she used it to advance her own position and get closer to Cheyenne. So those were the only like alliances that I was in. I don't know how many people constitutes an alliance, but yeah, those are the two, I guess. Which was my fave was Johnny and his wives, with me and Jess just like simping over Johnny.
Okay. All right. If you don't consider Debbie a floater, then how has she gotten so far into the game without winning anything?
If you need to win comps to advance in this game, then you've already fucked up. I do not think winning. I think you're putting too much stock into winning comps personally. She's not a floater. She's really loyal. She was loyal to me. Like I said, why would they take Debbie out? She's literally dead last loser every time. Like, the jury doesn't like her. Like, why would they take her out? That would be such a waste of a vote.
Okay. Do you think Kyra made the right choice voting you out over Cheyenne or Debbie? Who was the right choice?
I mean, on a personal level, I don't blame her for voting me out. I wasn't comfortable with her. She wasn't comfortable with me. She probably feels a lot more comfortable and relaxed, like she can kick her feet back now in the casino now that I'm gone. So you can't blame someone for wanting to feel, at ease in the game, right? I mean, of course, there's an argument for Cheyenne. Cheyenne's going to win. Cheyenne will beat Kyra at the end. It would have been a huge move on Kyra's resume to take out Cheyenne. But, like, it just depends what somebody values, right? If Kyra values her relationship with Cheyenne more than winning, then that was the right move. If Kyra wants to win, then maybe she missed an opportunity to take out the best player in this game.
Okay. Emma also wants to know, do you think Kyra's decision was strategic or emotional?
I mean, I don't think she had any really good choices, right? Debbie is such a waste of a vote. I haven't won any challenges either. I mean, maybe the strategic decision would have been Cheyenne, but was she really ready to put in the work with me, Debbie, like some of these other people and pivot? I think she's comfortable. And I think it's okay to be comfortable sometimes. I don't think she didn't seem emotional to me. We squashed everything. She was very mature. I was actually very impressed with her. And she made it pretty clear she was after Johnny. Which would be dumb because unless they want to go to the end with Shelby, Johnny is the only one that's going to be able to get out Shelby. So,
all right. Oh, we got last second question. Do you think Kyra will win the game against Cheyenne, or is she a goat?
I didn't think Kyra was even playing the game until Kyra started playing the game, right? Maybe I think I'm not going to call her goat. I think Cheyenne would still win, but I also haven't checked the pulse of the jury. I haven't really talked to them because they all hate me. So I haven't really talked to them, but I think Cheyenne beats anyone. I think Kyra beats anyone except Cheyenne. Kyra hasn't really pissed anyone off but me. And I'm not bitter. So, like I said, I think if Julius wants to win, Julius has been such an interesting character and he's such a cool guy. He's super hot too, by the way. Julius has had a really strong social game, but I think he's kind of just been wandering and a little confused, and he's tells too much information sometimes. He doesn't keep shit to himself. So I had to be careful with what I said to him. But I think people like him. So I think Julius could probably beat anyone except Cheyenne and possibly Kyra.
All right. Emma's next question is the beginning of our closing questions. So can you list who's playing the best game in your opinion or in a jury's perspective, right? In the final 6 from best to worst. Who do you think has the best chance right now? Who do you think is oh, you need to change it up or you're not winning anyway? How do you what do you think?
I don't know. That's such that question. It really depends on the jury. It depends on the person. It's really.
So how about for you?
I mean, Cheyenne has my vote over anybody, really. I think she's played a clean game. She's been very authentic. She's been very true to herself. She did not forsake her own values to win. She stuck by Cody even when it looked like he could have sunk her game. She is someone with very high moral compass. And I think the jury will like that.
And then who do you think has the least highest chances of winning right now?
It really depends on the combination, who ends up in the finale, if Julius goes with Kyra and Cheyenne, because that's kind of what it looks like he's going to do. He has the least chance, right? But if he goes with Debbie and Johnny, he probably has the best chance. I think Debbie and Johnny are playing phenomenal games too, but I have seen their games up close. I have seen the value of their loyalty, their friendship, their words. So I see their amazing games, but I don't think that the rest of the jury sees it.
Who has the lowest chances of getting Lucy's jury vote right now?
I'm totally open. I couldn't. I have to hear what they have to say because they got a lot of stuff going on that I don't know about. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they need to tell me what they were doing. I thought Kyra wasn't playing the game this whole time. Maybe she was. You know what I mean? So I'm totally open.
All right. Okay, so that's basically all the questions we really got, Lucy. So you got any final things you want to discuss? Anything that that the viewers didn't see? Any behind the scenes tea you want to give? Any last opinions? General, what do you have?
No, I just want to say I know the viewers saw me like really emotional that day when I had like been given a ton of steroids and stuff. Just want to reiterate, I have something called pneumonitis. It's a lung disease. I got it from vaping. My life has just been, my world has just been rocked, just turned upside down by this diagnosis, by the symptoms, by the pain. It's hard for me that so many people on the cast would vape like right in front of me when we'd be like on a live together or on a call together. I understand addiction, right? You will continue to do it despite the consequences because that is the nature of the disease. But I just want to reiterate that I would do anything to go back and to have not vaped, and that I would have a completely different life right now, and can encourage anybody else to try to quit.
Okay. And if you ever got an invite back to Isle of Money, you think you're going to play, or you're like, this game's a little too much.
No, I had a lot of fun. There's some things I would do differently next time. I am really sick right now, so I'm going to take a long break. But yes, one day if I got an invite, I would love to come back.
Okay. Well, this is our interview with Lucy. Lucy, thank you so much for joining us, of course. And if anyone at a later date wants to support the game, you can obviously donate to any of the little payments down there on the screen
By the
below.
way, that was me and Jess are sending all our money to Johnny at that auction. So a big portion of the prize money is actually me and Jess's money.
Oh my god! All right, well, you literally there's another mystery solved. So, but thank you so much, Lucy, for doing this interview with us, and we will see you back finale night.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, bye.
Get out of here.